Based on the Emmy Award-winning animated show The Loud House, the brand new original feature-length movie, A Really Haunted Loud House, has the Louds returning for their annual Halloween Spooktacular, filled with frightful tricks, delightful treats, costumes, and music. And I loved it. I thought it was fun. Today I've got movie director and executive producer Jonathan Judge. Good morning, Jonathan. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I loved how you described it. That's awesome.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed the movie, man. I like seeing Wednesday in there. I don't want to spoil it too much, but you got a little bit of Michael Jackson in there too, so that was
We
cool.
got a little
So
thriller, yeah.
yeah, I got a little thriller there. So tell us about the movie.
Well, the Louds are a big family. There's Lincoln and his 10 sisters. So they're loud just by having that many kids, but they're also loud in everything they do. And they do the spooktacular, like you said, which is they're the house that everybody goes to on Halloween. They do a big music number. They have a haunted maze. They have candy cannons. It's incredible. But in our movie, it doesn't go quite as planned this year because mom decides to give out toothbrushes instead of candy, and the neighborhood revolts. And they become not the loud house, they become the toothbrush house. And the whole neighborhood, a bunch of teens gather to come and attack and trick the loud house. So Lincoln and his sisters and his mom and dad have to use everything from the spooktacular to defend their house. So they're using drones with soy sauce, water balloons. They're using the candy cannon to shoot vegetables. They're using slime hoses, anything they can do to defend their loud house.
You know, I thought was very interesting was Dad thinking, yeah, being who thinking he was what he was. I'm not going to spoil it, but thinking that I thought that was really funny. I thought the Ghost Chasers was really cool. I like the idea of the dog collar. That was fun. That was a whole lot
That
of
was
fun.
hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here I thought was the most interesting thing about the whole thing was the actually the beginning of the show when the two young guys are sitting there on the computer mapping out houses, technology to map out the best houses where they can pick up candy. And you know what? I think you're gonna have some kids doing that.
Oh my gosh, yeah, use Google Maps. They want to get maximum candy consumption that year, right? So they've used their apps to figure out what's the fastest way to get through all the houses, hit the houses with the best candy too, because some houses have full candy bars, some so they
Yeah.
want to get the most candy in the least amount of time.
You know who my favorite character was, and I really love the fact that you guys put her in there. Now, the young lady that had the huge pumpkin, I
That's
really like. I felt
Lisa.
Lisa. I fell in love with Lisa for one reason, and that was because of her lips, the little lisp
She
that she
does.
had. Yes, and I thought that was so cool to have a little kid like that in there. Where'd you pick her up at?
She is awesome. Her name is Lexi J. We call her. We have two Lexis on the show, and she plays the scientist of the family. So she has a PhD, and she's 6 years old, and she's figured out a way to put all these nutrients together and create a giant pumpkin called Esmeralda. And she talks to Esmeralda a lot, and the pumpkin gets very, very big. And a big part of the movie, not to spoil it, centers around these teens stealing Esmeralda and bringing her to crush Esmeralda, this giant pumpkin, in a car crusher at a junkyard. So the family has to
Oh,
go and save Esmeralda.
definitely. You know, Lincoln and Clyde remind me of junior high. Yeah, and it is kind of hard trying to fit in, isn't it?
It is. It's that awkward time that I think every kid goes through where you love Halloween, you love trick or treating, and then suddenly someone says to you, "Oh, we're too old for that." And that's kind of the heart of the story. It's Lincoln and Clyde going, "Wait, are we supposed to be trick or treating, or are we supposed to go to this cool party?" And I think the message, if there is any message in this movie besides that Halloween is fun and family is everything, it's that you don't have to choose. Halloween is for every age. I was the guy trick or treating way too long, probably. People looking at me going, "Do you have a beard? Do you drive? Maybe you shouldn't be trick or treating." But I love it. And now I have kids, so I go around and do it with them. But Halloween is for everybody.
I have to agree with you, Jonathan. I was, well, from my preteen years all the way through my 20s, we were horrible. because we knew we had these huge bushes at the house, and I could actually sound like a werewolf tearing a man apart and then jumping out of the bushes and scaring everybody. So yeah,
That's
there
awesome.
is no age limit to Halloween. I've been speaking with Jonathan Judge, a really haunted loud house. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great family fun. And my hat is off to, as you said, Lexi J. My hat's off to her. I really fell in love with her. And I loved Wednesday. That was perfect.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Jonathan, thank you so much for joining us on Morning Blend.
All right. Have a great Halloween.
I am going to try to. I won't scare too many people, but I'll try.
Awesome.